Hello everyone, we are so excited about the new mobile app we just launched. It is available right now on the links below on both Android and Apple. We are super excited, right babe?
We are so excited, and don't forget our website. We have a brand new website that goes right along with this mobile app. That link is also down below in the description box for you. Download this app. It is going to impact you so positively.
Absolutely. So we hope you enjoy the show. We love you guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry.
And I'm Angel.
And we have a exclusive show for you today. It's one that's been a long journey for my sweetie, and it's one that I am happy that she's sharing with each of you, those of you who struggled with some of the same things she's going to talk to you about. So, babe, why don't we get started?
Yeah, so, all right.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
This is really difficult for me to talk about. Just give me a second.
Okay, take your time.
So, I'm doing this video today about my weight loss. Sorry, I didn't expect this. I'm doing this video today about my weight loss because it's really important to share my over a 45-year journey. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
With my struggle with my weight, and it's like I said, it's been a 45+ year journey. I'm 51, and it started when I was 5, and Terry has encouraged me to do this video to help other people, and I just haven't had the strength or the courage over the years. And then a viewer reached out to me and said, Angel, you really should share your story, because sometimes people that struggle with their weight don't necessarily want to take advice from a person that is thin, or a person that they see as somebody that doesn't maybe resonate with their struggles. So that really resonated with me. That was a while ago, and not too long ago, but oh, sorry, honey.
It's okay.
And I really wanted to do this because of all the encouragement from Terry. I'm getting so much deeper into my drive and passion for wanting to help other people so much. One of the main reasons why I got a doctorate degree and did a dissertation on this lifestyle was because of my passion. You have to have a lot of passion to go get a doctorate degree, because it's not easy, but it wasn't about the degree. It was about the learning, and it was about the journey, and it was about what can I get from this journey, not the diploma. Nobody calls me Dr. Greer. I don't talk to people about that. It was about reaching people and helping them live healthy lives without having to depend on pharmaceuticals and drugs and being in pain every day. I mean, I don't know how to express my passion around this, but anyway, let's talk about my 46-year, I guess, a journey with my weight. So I'm 120 pounds thinner today than I was many years ago, and it's been a struggle. I was a pretty thin, active little girl up until 5, and then I had a tonsillectomy. After that, I'm not saying the tonsillectomy did it, but it just seems like where it started. And I started to gradually gain weight. I just have memories of, being in elementary school and what that feels like to be overweight. Kids, unfortunately, are cruel. They don't have a lot of filters. I love little people, by the way. They're my favorite thing on earth. I wish I could have had a whole football team along with all the cheerleaders, myself, of my whole family, but that wasn't in the cards for me. But as we grow up as children, all of us, you know, you go through that stage where you don't realize how impactful the things that you say to other people can affect their lives in general. And so I went through that in elementary school and, you know, just struggled. I grew up in a very cultural rich Italian family, and we love people with food, and that is not a bad thing. That's how we love. That's how we give of our talent, through our food, through our original recipes, which is why I come to this community with original recipes and food, because that is how I am culturally built to love people, is to feed them. And I love that I can still do that in this lifestyle. That means the world to me, because I love feeding people and I love eating. And so through my family, and I talk about it a lot in my book, it was really hard to write that chapter about myself before we get to the recipes, because I had to really dig deep into a lot of things that I buried. I am very, I know I'm outgoing on here and I'm jovial, but I am actually a very private person. I'm not going to say I'm an introvert, because that would be a complete lie. I am a very extroverted person. I get my energy from extroverted things. I am surrounded by a lot of introverted people, and it's really, really good for me and my balance. An introvert doesn't mean that people stand in the corner. It just means that they're thinkers, and they help me to be a stronger, better person. But I am extremely extroverted. I have calmed that down over the years, because introverted people were like, get me away from this girl, she exhausts me. But I just, where was I going with that, honey? I don't know why I'm talking about.
No, that's okay.
So I'm talking about why I'm embarrassed that I've struggled with my weight. I can't help it. It gave me low self-esteem over the years, and it's something I'm not proud of. But people that are overweight aren't overweight because they want to be, okay? It's not anything. We don't mean to be. We're like overfed but undernourished. And I don't mean overfed in that we just sit down and eat 3 pizzas. And that is so far from the truth. A lot of times overweight people are eating less than other people. It's just the nourishment. We're not getting the nourishment.
It's what they're eating.
What I was eating. You know, just not getting the nourishment, not absorbing the nutrients that we need. The body thinks you're trying to kill it, and it holds on to all the fat and anything else it can hold on to. And then there's those addictions. I know, and I have come to the conclusion that I definitely have a food addiction. I look at food addiction like alcohol addiction, like addiction to smoking cigarettes, like addiction to drugs, any kind of addiction. The addictions in the world go on and on and on, but food addiction is up there with them. So,
and sometimes that's hard for people to admit that they have a food addiction, and they're food addicts.
Yes.
And I know you took us through kind of, you know, being a young girl, you know, 5 years old, and, you know, after you had your tonsillectomy, and then not that was the cause, but kind of things happened after that, and then living in a family. How about your younger years as a teenager?
Yeah.
And because those can be very difficult years.
Very, very difficult years. So like Terry said, as a young teenager, and your hormones are raging, and, you know, all your friends have, you know, boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever they're doing, whoever they decide to love. And, you know, that's tough, because you're overweight, you're struggling, and people think that's funny. I once had a science teacher, and it's so impactful to me that I wrote about it in my book, but I'm going to share it here as well. I had a science teacher in the 8th grade who I loved, okay? And he actually is one of the teachers that I can still today remember his name and everything. Although I don't want to say it, because I'm not saying this to be cruel. I'm just telling you something, how people get impacted. And he was talking about how people are jolly and happy. And he said, you know, like a lot of times people that are, I don't know if he said overweight or fat or whatever term he used, people that aren't, you know, thin, I guess. And he said, like, they're happy, they're jolly people, like, you know, Saint Nicholas or, you know, Santa Claus. And I guess he looked at me, and there was a girl in the classroom that said, why are you looking at her like that? And then it was almost like a spotlight was on me, the fat girl in the class. And that was so impactful to me. I still can see how the room was set up. I can still see I know exactly what I was wearing that day. We're talking about the 8th grade. I'm 51 years old. So it's very impactful what people do, what they say. And even on a weight loss journey, or even when you want to try different things and go down the journey, people have to be so careful how they speak to you, because you take it a certain way and you internalize it. And that's what people who maybe haven't struggled don't understand. Like, oh, I'm so skinny and I can't gain weight. And that goes another way. I'm not teasing those people, because that's also a struggle. So we all have our struggles, and we have to be so thoughtful. I get today as a thin person, and that's how people see me, and that's how people have seen me. They feel very comfortable. Oh my goodness, how much do you weigh? Well, nobody was asking me how much I weighed when I weighed. I'm trying to decide if I want to say how much I weighed. Yeah. Okay. When I weighed 240 pounds, nobody was asking me how much I weighed. So, but today people do, and they have over the years, and the comments that people make to me because they see me as a thin person. A lot of the people that I associate with do not know that I ever struggled with my weight, which also makes this very hard, because now this is public, right? Most of the people I associate with have no idea that I've ever struggled with my weight. They see me the way I am, and it's like, oh, that's her. No. And I will tell you today that it is just like food addiction. Like I said, it's like any other addiction. My weight, my body has a memory, and all I have to do sometimes is look at food, and I feel like my body wants to gain weight. And so it is a daily thing. You don't just lose weight and get to a certain weight. It's a daily thing, which will lead me to, I don't want to jump around, because I told Terry I want to go in chronological order, and I want to be really intentional about what I'm talking about here, because this is tough for me.
Well, your health struggles.
But I do want to talk about how the lifestyle got me to where I am today. But anyway, what's next?
Your health struggles, some of your health struggles, anemia, and some of the other health struggles you've had and overcome.
So, along with the weight, I've really struggled with my health over the years. So when I was 15 and leading up to that time, probably from the time I was 12-ish to the time I was 15, I was very, very sick. It was like a constant flu, constant vomiting, you know, a big bloated belly, almost like pregnant looking, and hard, and just not feeling well, and what have you. And then after a long 3-year journey, which is not important for this conversation, they finally found out that I had a ureter tube that was all twisted up. So the ureter tube goes from the bladder to the kidney, and mine was all twisted up, kind of like how a pig's tail would be, instead of being straight and filtering. So the all of my urine and whatever was backing up in my body, which is very toxic, and that can kill you. So I went through a few surgeries that didn't work, and then finally I had to have a partial nephrectomy. Part of my kidney was taken, and then they surgically had to straighten my ureter tube out. That was horrific, and I still remember that pain, and that was the only time in my life I remember saying, if I die now, I'm good, because it was so painful. And my mom sat there in that hospital room with me for 5 days. I stunk up the whole room, and then she finally gave me a shower. I know she remembers wheeling me into that shower, being like, thank God. But anyway, a mother's love, you can't outweigh it. So I did get through that, so I had a partial nephrectomy. I was not able to give natural birth to either one of my children. I have 2 boys that I gave birth to. 4 children, 4 beautiful children between Terry and I, but 2 of which I gave birth to. And I had to have a cesarean sections because my body just wasn't strong enough to give birth. And I know that now, that it's not really, oh, your uterus doesn't get big enough to give birth. It's really about your health. And it all stems back to your health. That's the let food be thy medicine, let thy medicine be your food. That's what that all means. Like, it's not just a term, it's not just a phrase, or this is wonderful. It like all means something. Right. So that goes into that. I'm a very deep thinker. So I had 2 cesareans, I had 1 miscarriage in between. And I wasn't able to have any more children after my son Anthony, even though I knew I wanted to have a slew of children because I love little people. So I was blessed with the children that I had. I got extended children from Terry, and now my grandson, and all the wonderful little people around me, which I love little people. Oh my gosh, they're just so impressionable. And it's so important that we raise them with this knowledge that we have, because I didn't have this knowledge when I was 22, when I had my first son, when I was 26 and I had my second son. I was horrible, and I smoked cigarettes, and I stopped that so long ago, I can't even remember, 20 plus years, whatever. But not during pregnancy. Did not do anything wrong during pregnancy, smoked any, drink, whatever. So I had that. I had a laminectomy in my back. When I was like 20 years old, I was being pushed around in a wheelchair because the pain was so bad down my legs that I couldn't walk. So here I am, 20 years old. Are you kidding me? And I went in to see a doctor, chop, chop, chop. I have an incision this long on my back where they opened me up and removed one of my discs. I've always had bad back pain. I had heart issues with my heart, too many beats. The anemia, I was diagnosed with anemia and then had to get infusions every 3 months because the iron pills would not work. One time my anemia got so bad, and my anemia storage got so bad that my heart went into AFib. And they thought I was going to die, and then Terry had to beg me to do a blood transfusion because I had refused a blood transfusion, and he was kind of like, it's the blood transfusion or this is going to end really badly. So he helped me through that, and I just want to be clear that Terry has been with me through this entire weight struggle. Well, not the entire weight struggle, but when I met him, I wasn't this person. So he's loved me through thick and thin, and yes, helped me through this struggle. So so that's some of my, I can't think of everything, but that's some, was having some dental issues, that I got taken care of. I can't think of everything, but my health stunk. And even after my surgery on my back, my pain was worse. Really, quite frankly. So I just would wake up every day with massive back pain throughout the day. I can't lift this, I can't do that, I can't go here, I can't do this, I can't do that. I mean, no quality of life when you live like that, as far as I see.
And so for the record, you're saying that let thy food be thy health. That's where that brings you to today, where you don't have any of these ailments, no anemia, which is amazing.
I know,
absolutely
right?
Amazing. You have no idea what we went through with this anemia. Oh my God! So, and then everything else you just talked about, back pain,
everything. I just, when I went, am I jumping ahead if I talk about whole food plant-based?
Well, I did want to talk to you a little bit about some of the yo-yo dieting. Dieting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Leading up to.
So it wasn't like, all of a sudden you get to this weight where you're like looking in the mirror and you can't believe the person that you see. And I meant to print out a picture so I could share with you, but Terry's gonna put my editor, my cutie, he's gonna put a picture of me so you can see what I looked like. And anyway, we'll share that picture, which is another milestone. I'm fighting through this one, guys.
You're
like,
doing great, babe.
All
You're
right,
doing great.
thank you. It's really tough.
We are helping thousands and hopefully
know.
hundreds of thousands and millions of people.
Thank you, honey. And that's what I'm trying to keep in my mind. Like, oh my God, everybody's gonna see that picture. And anyway,
It's okay.
all right. I just want to keep it together.
It's okay.
So I'm gonna share that picture with you, and it's hope that you can be encouraged and know that no matter how old you are or what you're doing or what you're going through, there's hope. There's hope, and it's not at a doctor's office, and it's not in prescriptions, and you don't have to deprive yourself. You can live a life you could never imagine, like what we have, right, honey?
Exactly.
All right, so my yo-yo dieting, fun. I went all the way to Mexico to get fen-phen because I was going to take those drugs that I couldn't get. I asked my American doctor for diet pills, and she was like, no, you need to do diet and exercise and, less calories in than, out and exercise. And it was like, wow, that doesn't sound very fun, and I love food. And so I said, well, forget them. I'll just go to Mexico and get it. So, yep, I crossed the border and went to a doctor and got fen-phen, and I took that. Oh, my gosh. And I'm not really good with drugs. So I felt dizzy. I felt crappy. But you know what? I didn't feel hungry. And that was the most important thing to me because I just wanted to be skinny. I don't know who I wanted to look like, but that was the most important thing. I wasn't thinking about the inside of my body. Mm-hmm. I was going to be thin if I had to cross the border to Mexico or whatever I had to do. So I got my drugs, and that was such a crappy experience. I mean, you're parched and you don't want to eat. You feel sick. Mm-hmm. You want to throw up. You're like almost feel like you're sweating on the inside. Mm-hmm. You're dizzy and you're nauseous and you're almost like you're buzzing around, but you really don't have any energy and you complete fog in your brain. It just, So, yep, I did that. I also did MetaFast, where you go to a doctor and you pay them $300 to drink nasty stuff through a straw for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and because that's sustainable. So we're all gonna drink this powder, and you get chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. So hey. So anyway, they were nasty. I never tasted such gross chocolate in my life, but I drank those damn drinks, and I also then, because it was very expensive through this doctor, and then I was like, oh, I can drink Slim Fast, and Slim Fast actually tastes better, but please don't read the side of the Slim Fast can if you actually want to become, like healthy. The chemicals, oh my God. Anyway, so I did that. I did Weight Watchers. It's so amazing. You go and you sit in a group and you get on a scale every week, and then you talk.
This is the old school Weight Watchers.
Oh yeah. Terry went with me.
But old school, yeah.
Terry went with me to Weight Watchers, and he sat there with me and held my hand because that's how much he supports me. And
you would go up and get weighed, and they would clap.
And if I would lose 10 pounds, I would get a sticker, honey.
Yes.
Remember when I would get my little star stickers? I had my little card that unfolded. Mm-hmm. All the weeks were on there. They would give me a little sticker if I lost 10 pounds,
I remember.
And but it was about not eating more than was on my plan.
Deprivation.
So deprivation, and make sure that you get your 4 ounces of chicken or beef or fish, and a small portion of these other things, and don't eat too many carbs and that type of stuff. fruits are really high in sugar. I don't know if you knew that, and carbs. So anyway, so I did that journey. I did Jenny Craig, where you actually buy the food, add water and make hamburger. It just crazy stuff. And then when I couldn't afford the 7 days worth of food, because what I really wanted was the brownies and the pizza on the Jenny Craig plan, but was not enough brownies and pizza to make me full. The meals, I was like, what is this? It's enough to fill my tooth. Oh my goodness. And so starving, but doing it. And I lost weight. Every single one of those programs work. They all work. Mm-hmm. And it's proven. I did them all and it worked, every one. But after I did those programs and I started eating food at my table, because I always was adamant about having meals on the table every single night and eating meals as a family. Even if I was eating something out of a box or whatever, my family was eating a home cooked meal, and I was hell bent on that. Nothing was getting in my way of that. I don't care. I would have crawled to the kitchen and crawled to the table. That was very important to have that, because you only get 10 minutes a day with your family to see how they're doing, and we were going to do it come hell or high water. So, but what would happen is, and my kids got to learn from this, right? Because they watched their mom struggling and my self-esteem going down and down. So every time I was, however much I weighed, I would go on these programs and lose 20, 30. Sometimes I would do really good and lose 40 or 50 pounds. And then when I would go off of them and eat these home-cooked meals, enough to fill me up, right? Then gain the weight back plus 5 or 10 pounds. So I think over the years I've probably lost, 800 or 1,000 pounds. I don't know. I've lost a lot though, because I'm telling you, lose, gain, lose weight, So if you start adding up how much weight you lost, it's a lot. But if you start adding up how much weight you gained, it's also a hell of a lot more than 120, because you're losing and gaining,
Right.
So, so those are just some of the things that I did to lose weight. It also makes you start to think about, because you're so desperate, having some eating disorders. Well, maybe I'll just won't eat anything. Maybe I'll just drink enough water to sustain myself, like some kind of form of anorexia where you're just not going to eat. And then I would go for days without eating, just days, and just feel sick. The body would start to wear down. You don't have any energy, just days, like no food. And then I would get on the scale and say, oh, I lost 5 pounds. This is amazing. This works. I mean, I'm just trying to tell you some of the way the brain works when you're desperate. Because I call it desperate, because then you have a family. Even before that, you want to fit in. You want to be like everybody else. You want to fit comfortable in certain places, planes, cars, clothes. You want to look nice.
You want to be able to provide for your family.
Provide for your family.
What about some of the discrimination, some of the jobs you weren't able to get? What about that?
That is such an important point, because we talk a lot today about racial discrimination.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yes, everything. Discrimination against weight. I can't love who I want to love, which is crazy. But anyway, but one thing I don't hear a lot of talk about is discrimination against people that are overweight. No matter what their sexual orientation is, no matter what the color of their skin is, no matter what their religious background is, they're fat. Okay? And there's discrimination against that. I was discriminated against for jobs, education, no education, knowing enough, having more credentials than I needed, discriminated against. And that hurts, because people looked at the fat girl probably like, maybe I'm lazy. Maybe she's lazy. Oh, maybe she can't do all this kind of stuff that, this other person can do.
Lacks motivation.
Right. Are you really as motivated? I mean, how much time was I going to have to spend in the break room eating all the Twinkies I obviously ate, which I didn't. I hate Twinkies, by the way, even when I ate. I don't. Anyway.
But it affects you from a socioeconomic perspective and your ability to be able to provide for your kids.
Yep, it does affect you, and then it also adds to that self-hate. I hate myself because I'm fat. I'm never going to be good enough because I'm fat. I'm never going to be able to have a good job like all these other people have because I'm fat. No matter how much education, no matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I struggle, even though I'm standing here saying to my children, you can do anything you want to do. Well, how am I going to prove that to them? You know, you have all this stuff going on, and eventually it really starts to eat away at your self-esteem. And I had major self-esteem issues. I still struggle with some of that today. Terry has helped me so much over the years with my self-esteem, not by, oh, come on, that's silly, or you don't really think that, or trying to, one thing that Terry never ever has done to me is try to tell me that what I feel is not what I'm feeling. A lot of people in life will tell you, that's not true. Oh, was it really that bad? I don't think so. What they don't know is that in your mind and the way you feel, it was that way. And it did feel that way. So a lot of people should be so careful about like I'm saying, the way they speak to you. So Terry has never said to me, Angel, that's a little over the top, or wow, that's a little drama queen today. Or no. It just was more about helping me try to see the person that I am, because as I'm sitting here today, in here is that girl. That big girl has never left me. She's with me. You can't see her, but I see her. I see her. She's with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a constant reminder. But that's who I see. Most of the time when I look in the mirror, that's who I see. I know that I haven't talked about it on the channel, and I guess if I would, like I was saying, I had made a comment a couple of videos ago that it's not as sexy, you know, because I don't talk about it. But I don't talk about it because it's so deep, and it's hard for me. This isn't a cute thing. I'm going to go on YouTube and tell everybody how I lost 120 pounds and la 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 la. This isn't the next Weight Watcher commercial with a movie star. I'm not a movie star. I'm an everyday person. I'm not like that. I'm not going to walk around. I'm always going to be fully dressed. And maybe that isn't sexy, and maybe that doesn't attract people to Terry and I. But one thing that we're real. I mean, this is the real deal. I don't have a teleprompter. That's why Terry's sitting here with notes. And I was like, I don't want to forget this, and I don't want to forget that. And I'm going to do this once and done, because this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And
well, you've done a beautiful job.
Oh, honey.
You've done a wonderful job.
Thank you. I
love you so much, baby. You've done an excellent job. And really, that fast forward, that brings us to like today and why we did YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? And why we developed our mobile app. And, you know, I think back on the original reason we did YouTube was to help others. And it was because Angel saved my life, and everyone knows the story, being on high blood pressure and so on and so forth. But if you think about it, fast forward to today, think about it, that how much has helped not just me, but also you. Now, you want to talk a little bit about that, sweetie?
Yeah, that's been an unbelievable journey. So, as you know, we found this whole food plant-based lifestyle, and I had been sustaining my weight loss, gain 5 pounds, lose 5 pounds, because I started this rule many moons ago about if I gain 5, and sometimes I let it slip to 8 or 10, but that I would lose that weight. I wasn't gonna gain the 50 or gain, and that's just the way it was. And my body was really breaking down from that, because I was doing an extreme amount of exercise, which is really, really hard on the body. I was, I guess, looking for the next knee replacements and everything else. But beating the hell out of my body, still not feeding my body right, which I thought I was. Oh, especially on the keto diet. I mean, oh my gosh, I had fried eggs in the morning with butter, fry them in butter. And then I would melt cheese over top the fried eggs. True story. I ate turkey bacon instead of pork bacon, because that's healthy. That was healthy for me. I would have yogurt for snacks, more string cheese. I would roll, some kind of lunch meat, number one carcinogenic, by the way, some kind of lunch meat up with cheese and not have the bread. I wouldn't eat a lot of fruit because, oh my gosh, it had a sugar. I need to, we're going to demonize fruit and all these types of things. So there's a reason why I was saying, so I was beating the hell out of my body trying to sustain my weight so I can take care of my family, so I can be a career woman and look the way I need to look and think that I could help my self-esteem that way, but that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So yeah. So self-esteem is much better today because I actually live a true whole lifestyle, and that changes the game. Okay, that changes the game completely. But when I went into this for Terry, I was not thinking about myself. I just knew that for the rest of my life I was going to be hungry because I never really felt full. I mean, every once in a while I would feel like full, like so full and disgusting that I would just be like, I can't move. And then I would hate myself. Oh my gosh, I ate a meal and my belly got full, and then I would beat the hell out of myself. And I know there has to be people out there that resonate with this. Oh my gosh, I'm full. What have I done? I've overeaten. I should never feel this way. You're only supposed to eat till you're satisfied. What the hell does that even mean, eat until you're satisfied? I love food, so I'm probably not going to be satisfied until I go to bed tonight, and then when I get up in the morning, I'm going to, eat again. So I don't understand all that talk, and I still don't today. Eat until you're what? So I eat till I'm full, but anyway, I feel guilty, and then maybe I wouldn't eat for a day or 2 days, or go on a fast now because I ate. And I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I had a big salad and a piece of chicken or whatever, but if I felt too full, it was guilt. Guilt, because I should never actually feel full, and I should never actually eat several meals a day, maybe one, and then you have to be in the gym all the time, in a gym on the empty stomach, feeling sick, but keep going, keep hurting those joints, keep having the heart palpitations, keep feeling dizzy, keep going back to the oncologist for the infusions. You get it. So when I found this lifestyle, because Terry, look, he needs to be here with me. He's like my person. He is my person. So found this and said, oh my gosh, Terry, we can save you. But I didn't know how much it was going to save me, because through cooking for him and learning, and then I am a creature of study, and I have read more books. I have watched more documentaries. I have researched, and I've researched deep, not on the surface, but deep. Like, I've went back and back and back and back, and which is why I wrote a year-long dissertation on it and did those years of study to actually get a doctorate. Because I craved the knowledge behind this, because hey, there's people out there talking about the carnivore diet, there's people talking about keto, there's people and I tried them all. So anyway, so that's what brought us to, I wanted to save Terry, and Terry's very disciplined. Terry, this is what we're going to do today, and he's like, okay, because he doesn't have those types of struggles, but he has other struggles. So, he'll talk about sometime. But anyway, but I learned that I can eat until I'm full. I can eat everything I want, and that what was really getting to me was the animal, the protein, the so-called protein, was putting a lot of fat into my body. It started to clog my arteries. My cholesterol went through the roof. When that starts to happen, everything starts to raise. I've always, for some reason, I don't know if it was because my anemia, but I've always had a very low blood pressure, double digits on both sides. But even those double digits were going up. Right? And then the doctors were like, oh, your blood pressure is getting so much better. It's like, okay. So now I'm not, I'm running, maybe 102 instead of, whatever I was running, or 105, and that's good now. But what was happening is my arteries were getting clogged, at the ripe old age of 45, and it was just a mess. So I really saved my life. I eat every single meal I eat is delicious, and yes, I love it. Yes, I get excited about it. You know what? I love food. I love sharing food with people. I love making food for people and creating food in my kitchen. I create all this food. I don't eat with guilt. I eat until I'm full. Yay, I'm full. My belly gets full. I get a food belly. It sticks out. It's really cute, And one of the other health things I had was like massive fibroids. I had 4 massive fibroids in my uterus. Those all shrunk through this diet.
Yeah.
Okay. The cramps and the pain, and I looked like the doctor said my belly was that of a 4-month pregnant woman. So I had a.
And they wanted to have surgery. They wanted you to have surgery to remove those.
They wanted to remove my uterus. Basically you're never going to stop bleeding, and you're so anemic, and these fibroids are huge, and we can't take it out, laparoscopically, because the uterus is so gigantic, and we're going to have to take it out the old school way. And thank God I didn't do it. And that was right before this lifestyle, and now that's just wasn't needed.
Right.
Just like all the other things. I had another doctor right before this lifestyle that told me my back was like a jelly donut, and that all my discs were compressed. They wanted to put rods in my back for the rest of my life, and I was so scared to do it because I know what I felt like after my laminectomy, just getting that one disc out, and how much pain I was in. So I kept prolonging it, and then I ended up going to a pain specialist, and I said I don't want to take medication. I still never liked medication. I don't like putting that stuff in my body. So I would go there every few months, and he would do an epidural on me so that I could handle the pain in my back. Okay, I was going and getting epidurals in my back, okay, before work, because they took 15 minutes. So anyway,
I can remember. I remember I had to carry you into one of the appointments.
Yes, because I was like stuck. I was stuck on the floor, and I couldn't get up. Okay, this is just insane to me as I think back on some of this stuff. So anyway, we went into the whole food plant-based lifestyle. I eat until I'm full. The problem I was having when I first went whole food plant-based was my mind, because I knew you can't eat a lot. And so what was happening is my weight started plummeting to where it was almost scary. So now it's like, okay, for the first time in umpteen years, now I have to worry about my weight being too low or being unhealthy. And then all of a sudden, the people around you that were like, ooh, fat girl, is like, oh, wow, you're getting kind of skinny. It's like, damn, I can't please anybody. But so reprogramming your mind that you actually have to eat, and you have to actually eat food that grows, okay? So the food is there for us in an abundance. But I have to pause and say something about the mind. In order to have not a diet, but a lifestyle, and a lifestyle is for the rest of my life, for the rest of my life. In order to have that, you have to go here first. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because if it's, I gotta have shrimp or scallops, like Terry thought. I'm just going to do it once a month. Or my favorite thing is all the people that tell me that eggs are healthy. That's my favorite. That's just my favorite art. But I'm exhausted from it. And I'm just going to eat yogurt, or I only eat a little bit of cheese. I just don't think I'm not willing to give up meat every day, but I only have it on occasion, or I only have pizza on Friday nights. That's an excuse. I don't mean to be brutal, but it is. Or my kids don't eat that way. Okay, all right. And that's fine. Let them, but take care of yourself, if that's what you're going to do. I hope and pray as our young people come up, they see and they hear and they watch their parents. My son has celiac disease. I really have beat myself up pretty bad over it. I was 22. I was feeding him tons of pasta and whatever. He was not a good eater, very thin. Anyway, so now I know he was being overfed, even though he didn't eat a lot, but he was undernourished. So he was very thin and whatever. So he found out he had the celiac when he was 24, which is the worst thing because he had 3 meals he liked to eat a day: pizza, pizza, and pizza. And so gluten-free pizza for him wasn't the kind of pizza. I mean, he's from Philly. Come on. Now, like he's talking about big, thick, yummy crust, that you can eat on thin crust pizza, not a cracker, And just, watching my other son and being self-conscious about his weight. And that's all things that I did as their mom. And now watching my grandson grow up, that dude is lean, mean, and just like, he's got energy. He eats and he runs around. Why is he running around like that? And I'm not talking about like how my kids all ate and ran around. I'm talking about like eating and running, because he has energy from the food, because he's eating food that is meant for his body.
Right.
So watching him come up that way has just filled my love bucket. I'm so proud of my son and daughter for raising him that way. And I wish I would have known. I can't turn back the hands of time, so I try not to beat up on myself, but all these autoimmune diseases and this and that, and just, I feel terrible about it. But I moved from this horrible standard American diet to countless years of yo-yo dieting, to doing things that were dysfunctional, eating disorder, thinking in my head. And it was all about what I looked like on the outside, and it was never about what I was doing. Nobody would swallow pills that they are not supposed to take, or stop eating because it's healthy for them. It just was about image.
Right.
And my kids got to watch that, my friends, everybody. So it's really sad. But now I get to be here and say I learned from all that, and I've educated myself, and my journey hasn't been pretty. And it's been 46 years, and the last several years on a whole food plant-based, and now I'm raw. And I still love whole food plant-based, high, raw. I don't care. I'm like, I would talk to anybody. I would go in a stadium, as scary as it would be, and I would talk about this because I'm so passionate about it, and I know how it feels, and I know that girl, that's who's talking to you. That girl in the red shirt that you saw, that's who's talking to you. So I'm speaking from experience, and I'm telling you that this lifestyle, get your mind right. There's nothing you cannot do. The meat is mostly all fat. It's feeding our cholesterol. It's stuff that we weren't meant to eat as people. And let's stop demonizing fruit, even if we're diabetic, and eat the fruit. Go to your doctor, consult with your doctor. I can only talk to you about my mom's journey with fruit and her type 2 diabetes, and many people that I've talked to over the years of being on this lifestyle, and what it's done for them. You have to do you. I'm just telling you Angel's story. I'm telling you the miraculous things I've seen with my husband, how he is coming off his pharmaceutical drugs, how I still have my uterus, okay? And those fibroids and all of the cysts that I had on my ovaries gone. I get up in the morning like I never had a back surgery. I never went one day from the day I was probably 16 or 17 to the day I was in my 40s until I went on whole food plant-based. And that was finally a day that I woke up without pain. I never had that before, and I have it every single day of my life. I forget what that was even like. Well, I don't, because when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, all my pains, aches are gone. I don't have to spend 3 hours in the gym. I can go for a brisk walk for 30 minutes if that's what I want to do. I can have fun with it. I can dance with Terry and, you know, whatever I want to do. I don't have to worry about that. When I'm hungry, I eat. And I eat a lot. Sometimes people look at me. I don't care. What are you looking at? Because I know they're thinking, where is that girl putting it? Don't you worry. It's what I'm eating. So I am so passionate about this lifestyle. This lifestyle works. It is not a diet. You will take the weight off, and then your body will regulate. I no longer have to yo-yo with my diet, and this has been going on for these years now. What is it, 3 years or something? I never have to worry about my weight anymore. And everyone's like, I'm no longer getting on the scale every day, worrying about that. Every once in a while I get on the scale and it keeps telling me the same thing over and over and over again. And everybody fluctuates in this, 5 pounds. So some days we're lighter and whatever, but I'm not talking about those mad fluctuations. I mean, that's just body chemistry, whether we're retaining water or not, or what have you. So outside of the body chemistry, I stay in that range, and I eat, and I'm full every time I eat. Sometimes I'm too full. I'm like, whoa, I really ate a lot. But it doesn't affect me. So this is a beautiful lifestyle. It actually also helps you start to deal with some of those demons that are in there. And I'm still working through that. I'm still working through the angel and the devil on my shoulders that are always sitting there telling me that I'm not good enough, or that I can't do things, or that I've done it but it wasn't enough, and that I should do more because I'm the big girl. And I'm still working through those, but I'm so much better today, right, honey?
You are, absolutely.
With a lot of help from you, thank you.
Absolutely.
And the food makes all the difference in the world. So the food, I noticed I was having a bad time, being stressed about something the other day, and Terry had this big bag of watermelon, and he was talking to me eating the watermelon, and I started eating some of the watermelon. True story, I swear it. I started eating some of the watermelon and more of the watermelon and more of the water, and then I saw myself stress eating the watermelon, and which is a great thing to stress eat. And by the time we got done with our conversation, the whole bag, it was a gallon-sized bag of watermelon, it was gone. And believe it or not, I felt better. I didn't.
True story.
Not from the conversation, and I was really upset about something, a totally different subject, and Terry was being my sounding board, and I was like, I felt electrified, and even though I can't explain it. So if you get stressed out, forget about the gallon of ice cream. Get yourself a gigantic watermelon, cut the top off, get a spoon, and sit there and eat that sucker. I'm telling you, it made all the difference in the world. Fruit is invigorating. Like I never felt that before, and I felt it while whole food plant-based, more now, especially raw, because I eat so many fruit meals. And just the way it makes you feel is insane.
Incredible.
It's
incredible.
a drug. It's a drug, an amazing drug, like our gift, right? Because it just grows outside. You pick it, you eat it, and you feel like you have never felt before. And then to witness that last week during a very stressful time, and what that did, I was astonished. I said to Terry, this is crazy. I went from here to here because I ate some watermelon. And I wasn't eating the watermelon to make myself feel better. I was just eating the watermelon because he was eating it. And I was like, So you can still stress eat. Cool. Get a big thing of grapes or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, honey, did I miss anything?
No, honey, you nailed it. You hit all of the important topics that you wanted to talk about. But most importantly, I think what you said just resonated with so many people, and I know it's going to help a lot of you who went through the same struggles, who are going through the same struggles, who have yet to reach the same struggles or encounter the same struggles that Angel has. And again, that was our motivation behind starting a YouTube channel, was to help people like you. Baby, I'm so proud of you. I don't even know what to say. I'm so proud of you. This was, you have no idea how tough this was. But it was something that I felt, and we felt that we wanted to do, that Angel needed to do, because it's the right thing to do. And we want to help people, as many people as we can. So we love
really
you, baby.
We think, I think what you want to say, I want to first thank Terry for all the years and support and guidance, and what he's been through with me through all my trials and tribulations and struggles. And I know this is lifelong. I do, and I'm up for the challenge now because of this lifestyle. I was never up for the challenge before, and I don't know. I feel like I was going to end my life early because my body was giving out. It was giving out on me at such a young age, but. Clearly I'm not. Clearly I'm going to be here a very long time, which is amazing. And I feel in my 50s like I'm 15. But when I was 20 and 30, I felt like I was ancient. I felt terrible. My body hurt. My insides hurt. My body is great on the inside. And my skin is starting to glow, and I'm just really happy. And it's hard. It's hard to come on here because when you put yourself out in the public like this, sometimes people say things that really hurt, and they go deep. And Terry will say, don't take it that way. But that goes back to what I was saying about people say things and then they just walk away and they don't realize how much they impact you, whether good or bad. And when you are on YouTube or Instagram or on these public medias, you put yourself out there, and you have people that say things sometimes that really hurt. And then you feel like you have to justify yourself and your being. And it's hard to come on here and say these things because I know people are watching and thinking, but I will tell you that the largest majority of people that support Terry and I and follow us are so loving. And it's the reason why we keep coming back. It gave me the strength. That viewer that said, was so impactful to me when she just said, people want to know that they're getting these recipes and this advice from somebody who's felt their struggles. And it was just, what she said wasn't a lot, but it was really impactful. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Because you all actually keep me motivated too. Because I'm like, okay, what are we going to do next for these people? You're our family. Because your friends and stuff, they change when you change your lifestyle. And that's okay. So,
honey, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I love you so much. You're so courageous for doing this. I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, like this video.
Thank you.
Hopefully you like us. If you like us, please subscribe. Please subscribe. So we love you.
The more subscriptions we get, the more support we get, the more we can do, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So we love you guys.
Love you so much.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.